The galaxy feared the Khalor Empire. Their warships were cold black, their soldiers emotionless, and their markets full of creatures taken from conquered worlds. To them, life had no value. Only power mattered. Deep inside one of their dark stations, far from any human eye, there was a room no one talked about. A place of silence and suffering. In that room lived a girl who did not know her name. She was known only by a number burned into a metal tag tied around her wrist. Unit 47. She looked like a young human girl, fragile and quiet, but she was not treated like one. She was called a pleasure animal, a rare creature meant to exist only for others. She did not speak. She did not fight. She simply survived. Her eyes were wide and empty, like she had forgotten what hope felt like. She remembered nothing of her past, only flashes. Red sky, heavy smoke, loud screams, running feet, a woman's hand pushing her forward, a soft voice whispering, "Run. Survive." And then darkness. She woke up in a cage. And from that day, she was Unit 47, one cycle. A human squad came to the station after helping the Khalor win a battle. The Khalor commander, wanting to show gratitude, decided to present them with trophies, weapons, rare minerals, and at last, Unit 47.2 Khalor guards dragged her forward by the chain around her neck. She stumbled, terrified, too weak to resist. When she lifted her eyes, she saw a human staring at her with confusion and disgust. One of the soldiers whispered, "What the hell is this?" The Khalor commander smiled like he was showing a pet toy. A rare creature from a dead world. A pleasure animal. Take her. A reward. The humans were furious. One woman officer stepped back in anger. "We don't take slaves," she said sharply. Unit 47 shook. Her thin hands tried to pull free, but the guards held her tight. She expected pain. She expected orders. She expected nothing good. But then, one human stepped forward. He was a tall man with calm eyes and a quiet voice. His name was Evan Carter, an exploration officer, not a soldier. He looked at her like she was something more than a thing, more than an object, more than a number. The Khalor commander laughed, thinking he liked the gift. "Well, do you accept?" Evan ignored him. He crouched down slowly so he was eye level with the trembling girl. She flinched. She had never seen kindness in anyone's eyes before. Evan spoke softly, carefully, like he didn't want to scare her. "Hey, it's okay. I'm not going to hurt you." His voice was calm, warm, different. Unit 47 did not understand his words, but she felt something strange. Something new, safety. When Evan reached out to remove the chain, the girl squeezed her eyes shut, expecting a blow. But he didn't hit her. He gently unlocked the metal collar. For the first time since she could remember, her neck was free. Everyone was silent. One human whispered, "What are you doing, Evan?" He kept his eyes on the girl. "She's not an animal." The Khalor commander frowned. "She is what we say she is." Evan stood up, pulling the girl behind him protectively. "No, she's alive. She's intelligent. She's scared." The Khalor soldiers stepped forward, anger rising. But before they could speak, Evan held the girl's hand and said something that changed her world forever. "You deserve a name." Unit 47 stared at him. Confused. He thought for a moment, then smiled kindly. "Lila, your name is Lila." The girl's lips parted in silent shock. A name, her own name. Something she had never been given before. Something that made her more than a number. For the first time ever, she felt like she existed. The humans argued, the Khalor shouted, but Evan did not care. He took Lila with him, walking away from that dark market. But as he left, hidden eyes watched. A Khalor officer whispered into a communicator, "Unit 47 is leaving the station with humans." A cold voice replied, "Let them take her. Track them." The experiment is waking up. The officer gulped. Sir. If she awakens fully, the voice interrupted, then the galaxy will burn. Lila did not know this yet. She held Evan's hand tightly as he led her toward a new life, unaware that she was the last survivor of a Deathworld species the galaxy feared more than anything. And now, she was waking up. The ship hummed quietly as it left the Khalor station behind. Stars stretched into long streaks through the viewports. Lila stayed close to Evan, her small hand gripping his tightly. She did not speak. She barely blinked. Her eyes were wide, trying to take in everything at once: metal walls, flashing lights, and humans moving around like nothing strange had happened. Evan watched her. He had never seen someone learn so quickly just by watching. Her gaze followed every movement. She tilted her head, memorizing, understanding faster than any human child he had known. But what worried him most was the silence, the way she flinched at the smallest sounds, the way her body tensed at every shadow. Dr. Mara, the ship's medic, finally stepped forward. Evan, you should let me scan her, just to make sure she's healthy. Evan nodded. Do what you must. But be careful, she's unusual. Lila didn't resist. But as the scanner passed over her, alarms in the lab went off. Heart rate unusual. Bones denser than human. Muscles stronger. Reflexes faster. Dr. Mara exchanged a worried glance with Evan. This is impossible, she muttered. She shouldn't survive some of the things she did. Not like this. Lila turned her eyes on Dr. Mara, sensing the concern. Her gaze held something deep, something primal, like she understood more than words could explain. She tilted her head and whispered a sound that resembled a word. Evan's ears caught it. Layla, he repeated softly, smiling. Yes, that's your name. You remember. She nodded faintly, a tiny spark of trust forming. Over the next hours, Evan tried to teach her simple words. She repeated after him, but in her own voice, strange yet clear. By the end of the cycle she could say, no, stop, help. Not much, but enough. That night, while the humans slept, Lila stayed awake. She walked silently along the corridor, listening to the hum of the ship's engine. Memories were stirring, fragments of her lost home, a planet of fire and jagged rocks, endless storms, creatures that could survive anything. She remembered screams. Her parents' faces, pale and desperate. A voice calling, run, survive. Always survive. She shivered and pressed her hands to her chest. Something deep inside was awakening. Not fear. Not exactly. Power. The strength of her kind. The next day, a crew meeting discussed her origins. One scientist, Dr. Rel, said in a low voice, I've read stories. There was a species called the Terra 13 Deathworlders, believed extinct. All records were erased by the Khalor. Evan frowned. You're saying she's one of them? Dr. Rel nodded slowly. Yes, she's exactly like them. And if she survived, she is incredibly dangerous and incredibly rare. Lila listened quietly from the corner. She didn't fully understand the words, but her instinct screamed. Danger was coming. She could feel it. Something from the past, something the Khalor had sent, was hunting her, and she was not afraid. Not entirely. The humans didn't notice the small sensors flicker outside the ship. A faint signal had been activated. Someone was tracking them, a shadow moving silently through space. Watching, waiting. Later, Evan found Lila staring at the viewport, her face pale. Do you see them? He asked softly. She shook her head. But her eyes widened in a way that made him shiver. She knew. Somehow she knew. That night, she tried to sleep, but her dreams were filled with fire, red skies, and sharp claws. She woke with a start, sitting upright in her bunk, heart racing. Her body ached, but in a strange way. Not weak, strong, Ready. Evan came to her side. "You're okay," he whispered. "It's just a dream." But Lila shook her head. "No. Danger. Coming." Her voice was soft, but firm. "Khalor, find me." Evan's stomach turned cold. He had suspected that Khalor wouldn't forget her. But hearing her say it, the reality hit harder than he expected. He pulled her into his arms. "Then we'll face them together. I won't let anything happen to you." For the first time, Lila believed it. Far outside, hidden in the dark expanse of space, a ship moved silently. Sensors scanned for a small life form, something the galaxy had thought lost. The hunt was beginning, and Lila was ready to fight. The stars outside, the viewport stretched into long lines as the ship sailed silently through the void. Lila sat close to Evan, her small hands wrapped tightly around his arm. She had learned more words now, simple sentences, and could understand most of what the crew said. But understanding didn't calm her. Every shadow on the hull, every blinking light, made her flinch. Her instincts screamed. Danger was near. Evan noticed it too. "Something's wrong," he muttered to Dr. Mara. "She can feel it." "I can feel it too." Dr. Mara nodded. "The Khalor won't let her go. Not alive. They sent someone something to retrieve her. Or destroy her." Lila's eyes darkened. She didn't need explanation. She could feel the presence of hunters in the void. Her body tensed like a coiled spring. She remembered running on jagged rocks of her homeworld, dodging fire, surviving storms. Survival was in her blood. And now she was ready. Hours later, the ship's alarms screamed. Red lights flashed. A fleet of black warships appeared from warp space, surrounding the human vessel. The Khalor ships were silent but deadly, bristling with weapons. Their message came loud and clear over the intercom. "Return Unit 47 immediately, or be destroyed." Evan stepped forward, protective, anger in his eyes. "She is not Unit 47, she's Lila, and I will not give her to you." The Khalor commander's laughter was cold, hollow, and mocking. "Do not be foolish, human. She belongs to us. You will obey." Lila crouched low, her senses alert. She could feel the air shift, smell danger, and hear sounds far beyond human hearing. Her muscles tightened. Her heartbeat slowed not with fear, but with focus. She was no ordinary girl. "Evan." She whispered, voice barely audible. "They are coming, fast." Evan grabbed her hand. "I know, Lila. Stay behind me." 2 boarding pods detached from the lead ship and shot toward their vessel. The crew scrambled, weapons ready. But the soldiers in the pods were unlike any humans or aliens they had seen. They moved with unnatural speed, precision, and a cold, deadly efficiency. Lila froze. Memories of cages and chains came rushing back, the cold metal, the screams, the pain. But something deep inside snapped. Her body reacted before her mind could think. She leaped forward, faster than the humans could follow. In one swift motion, she disarmed an attacker, flipping him over the railing with a strength that shocked everyone. Another tried to strike her, but she caught his wrist and twisted, sending him sprawling across the deck. Evan's eyes widened. "Lila, how?" She didn't answer. She didn't need to. Her instincts guided her. Every move, every strike, precise. She protected Evan, moving like a shadow, faster than anyone could see. The crew watched in awe and fear. Dr. Mara whispered, She's not just a survivor. She's a Deathworlder. Like the legend said. She's stronger than any of us," Evan finished. The boarding party retreated, shocked by her speed and power. The Khalor soldiers regrouped in their pods, communicating silently. "She is awake," one hissed. "She is not a simple unit. She is something more." Lila's eyes glowed faintly in the dim light of the ship. Her breathing was steady, her body calm. She looked at Evan. He gave her a small nod. A silent promise. He would not let them take her. The lead Khalor commander spoke again over the intercom. Voice cold and final. Deathworlder, Unit 47. We will return. You cannot hide. You belong to the Empire. Lila's lips pressed together. Her gaze hardened. This time she was ready. She wasn't just a victim anymore. She was something the galaxy had feared for centuries, and she had survived. Evan stepped beside her. Whatever comes next, we face it together. Lila reached out and squeezed his hand. Her voice was steady, though small. They cannot take me. Not now, not ever. Outside, the black warships watched. And far away, deep in the shadows of the galaxy, other eyes stirred. Waiting, the hunt had begun, but Lila was no longer running. She was awakening. The ship drifted in silence after the first attack. The crew worked quietly, repairing minor damage and checking their systems. But no one dared relax. Not even for a cycle. Lila sat near the viewport, staring at the stars. Her mind was restless. The attack had awakened something deep inside her, a memory, a power, a sense of who she truly was. She did not understand everything yet, but she knew one thing. The Khalor feared her. Evan approached and sat beside her. Lila, you did amazing out there. She glanced at him, her eyes wary. I remember, she whispered. Fire, smoke, death. Evan nodded slowly. I know. You've been through more than anyone should survive. But I promise, you're safe here. For now. Dr. Rel entered the room, carrying a data pad. Evan, I think it's time you knew the truth. Lila tilted her head. Curious. Dr. Rel projected a hologram into the air. It showed a jagged red world, storms of fire and ash, creatures moving with unnatural speed and strength. This is Terra 13, Dr. Rel said softly. It's where your species comes from. The Khalor called them Deathworlders. They wiped almost all of you out because they feared your strength, and you are the last known survivor. Lila's small hands clenched into fists. Her pulse quickened. Her mind flashed with fragmented memories, her parents' screams, the sound of warships overhead, her own small body running across jagged rock, fighting to survive. They killed them all? She whispered. Dr. Rel nodded, her eyes heavy with sorrow. They tried, and they believed they succeeded. But somehow, you survived. Evan put his arm around her shoulders. You're not alone anymore, Lila. You have us. We'll help you survive. We'll fight with you. Lila's lips trembled. She had never known anyone who promised protection. She had never known trust. But with Evan, she felt something strange. Hope. I remember them, Lila said, voice trembling. My parents. They told me, run. Survive. Evan squeezed her hand. Then we'll make sure you do. And we'll make sure you can live without fear. But the calm did not last long. The ship's sensors beeped frantically. A small blip appeared on the screen, a shadow moving faster than any normal ship could travel. The Khalor were tracking them again. They're coming, Lila said quietly. Evan looked at her, concern etched on his face. How do you know? Her eyes were sharp, distant, almost glowing. I feel them. The ones who hunted my people. They are close. Very close. Dr. Rel frowned. This is dangerous. If they catch her. Evan interrupted. They won't, not while I'm here. Lila nodded. She didn't fully understand why she trusted him so completely. But she did. For the first time in her life, she felt safe. That night, Lila could not sleep. She moved quietly to the observation deck, her eyes scanning the void. She remembered fragments of her species' history, strong, fast survivors of worlds that crushed weaker life beneath them. Her kind had endured extreme environments, natural disasters, and wars beyond imagination. They had been warriors, hunters, protectors, not slaves. Her small body shivered with remembered strength. She was more than the Khalor called her. She was a Deathworlder. Evan found her leaning against the viewport. "You're thinking too much," he said softly. "I must remember," she replied. "They cannot take me, cannot erase us." Evan knelt beside her. "Then we'll fight together. You and I, your past does not define you. You decide who you are." Lila's gaze softened. She whispered her first full sentence in human words. "Evan, don't leave me." He smiled gently. "I won't, not ever." Outside, hidden in the darkness of space, the Khalor fleet watched. Their leader spoke in a cold, sharp tone. "She knows. She remembers. And she is powerful. Prepare the strike teams. We cannot fail again." Lila shivered at the thought, but she no longer felt just fear. She felt determination. The galaxy had tried to erase her kind, but she had survived. And now she was learning the truth of who she really was, and she would fight back. Her eyes met Evan's, a silent promise passing between them, no matter what came. She would not be alone, and far away, in the void of space. The hunters moved closer. The real battle for Lila's freedom, and for the survival of her species, was about to begin. The ship's alarms rang suddenly, breaking the quiet night. Red lights flashed across the deck, and the crew rushed to their stations. Lila's body stiffened, senses screaming danger. She had felt this before. This was not just another attack. Evan grabbed her hand. "What is it, Lila?" "They're here," she whispered, voice tight. "Closer than before. Someone is hunting me." A warning message appeared on the console. Sensor readings showed a small, fast-moving ship approaching at impossible speed. Dr. Mara's face went pale. "This is no ordinary fighter," she said. "It's too fast. It's lethal." The ship docked silently. The airlock hissed. And then he stepped inside. The crew saw him first, a tall, armored figure, moving with a precision that seemed almost superhuman. His eyes glinted like cold steel. General Vorak. The name sent shivers through Evan. Stories of the Khalor assassin were whispered in fear across the galaxy. Vorak had hunted and killed entire species, leaving no survivors. And now he had come for Lila. Lila's muscles tensed. Her heart did not race with fear. She had faced death before, in visions and in memories. This was different. This was real. She remembered her parents' words: "Run. Survive." Evan stepped in front of her. "Stay behind me," he ordered. Vorak's voice was cold, cutting through the air like a knife. "She is the last of her kind. She must not live." The assassin lunged first. His movements were lightning fast, almost invisible. But Lila's instincts had grown sharper. She dodged instinctively, rolling to the side. Her hands moved with unnatural speed, disarming him for a moment before he regained control. The crew watched, stunned. Lila, small and young in appearance, was faster and stronger than any human or alien they had ever seen. Her eyes glowed faintly with the power of her Deathworlder heritage. Vorak smirked. "You have inherited their strength. But strength alone will not save you." Lila did not answer. She felt the blood of her species rising within her. She could feel every nerve, every muscle, every sense sharpened to perfection. She moved like the shadows themselves, striking with precision and power that left even Vorak surprised. Evan was struck by awe and fear. "Lila, you're incredible," he whispered, but Vorak had come prepared. His attacks were brutal, designed to break her. He struck hard, faster than the humans could comprehend. Lila dodged, blocked, and countered. She was no longer just surviving. She was fighting, remembering what it meant to be a Deathworlder, predator, warrior, survivor, The ship shook as Vorak activated hidden weapons, small energy blades cutting through walls and floor. The crew scattered, trying to stay safe. But Lila stayed with Evan, moving between him and Vorak, protecting the man who had given her a name, a life, and hope. Vorak growled, frustrated by her speed and strength. "Your kind was weak. You are weak." Lila's eyes flashed. She had remembered the final words of her parents. Never let them take you. Survive. Fight. With a burst of power, she launched herself at Vorak, her movements a blur. She struck him hard, sending him crashing against the ship's bulkhead. Evan ran to her side. "Are you okay?" Lila looked at him, breathing hard but steady. I will not let him hurt you." Vorak struggled to rise. Blood, cuts and bruises covered his armor, but his glare never wavered. He realized she was stronger than any Deathworlder he had ever fought, and more dangerous than he expected. "You will die," he hissed, preparing to strike again. Lila's gaze hardened. "No, I protect. I survive. I fight." The fight paused for a moment, both combatants staring at each other. Evan realized something crucial. Lila was not only fighting for herself. She was fighting for the future of her species. She was not weak. She was a survivor. Vorak, seeing her resolve and strength, took a step back. For the first time, the assassin hesitated. And in that moment, Lila made a choice not to kill him, but to warn him. "Leave," she said, voice firm and echoing in the ship. "Go, or next time, you will not survive." Vorak's eyes narrowed. He retreated to his ship, wounded but alive, sending one final warning to the Khalor Empire. Lila turned to Evan, trembling but alive. "They will not stop," she whispered. Evan held her close. "Then we fight, together, always." And far outside, the black void of space waited. The Khalor Empire was planning. But one thing was clear. They had underestimated Lila, and the galaxy had no idea what was coming. The ship floated silently through space, but there was no rest. Lila sat alone in the observation room, staring at the distant stars. Her body ached, her muscles tight from the fight with Vorak, but she felt no fear. Not now. Her memories of Terra 13, the fire, the jagged rocks, the storms, and the screams surged forward. Her parents' words echoed in her mind. "Run, survive. Never let them take you." She understood now. Survival was not enough. She had to be stronger. Evan entered quietly, kneeling beside her. "You did well, Lila. You saved all of us." Lila looked at him, her eyes glowing faintly. "I am more than they think. I can fight. I must." Evan placed a hand on her shoulder. "I know, but promise me you'll stay with us. Don't do it alone." She nodded. "I promise. But I must awaken fully. Only then can I stop them." The next day, the Khalor fleet reappeared. Their ships loomed like dark predators, surrounding the human vessel. Their leader's voice came over the comms, icy and final. "Return the Deathworlder. Or die." Lila's body tensed. Her senses were alert. Every sound, every vibration, every movement around her was amplified. Her reflexes had grown sharper, faster than any human or alien. She had trained in instinct and survival for centuries in her memories. Though she was only a child in appearance, Vorak had taught her something unintentionally. The Khalor underestimated her. And she would use that when the boarding pods detached. Lila stepped forward, her small frame belying the power she now possessed. She moved with supernatural speed, dodging laser strikes that would have killed a normal human. She was a blur faster than the eye could follow, her strength amplified by her awakening heritage. Evan fought alongside her, but he mostly watched in awe as Lila protected him and the crew. Every attack she deflected, every strike she delivered, carried precision and purpose. She was not just surviving, she was asserting dominance, showing the Khalor what it meant to face a Deathworlder. Vorak appeared again, anger and fear in his eyes. He lunged at Lila, energy blade raised. But she anticipated every move, dodging, blocking, and striking with incredible force. Her body moved as if the memories of generations of Deathworlders flowed through her veins. "You are stronger than them," Vorak hissed, staggering. Lila's eyes glowed brighter. "I am not just strong. I am survival. I am my people. I am Lila." The crew watched in silent awe. Even Dr. Rel whispered, She is beyond any legend." The fight continued, the ship shaking with the impact of their blows. Lila's instincts were flawless, her speed unmatched. She could feel the thoughts of the Khalor soldiers, their intent, their fear. She did not need to see them. She knew their moves before they acted. At one point, Vorak aimed for Evan. Lila's reaction was instantaneous. She leaped, striking Vorak away with a force that sent him flying across the deck. Evan, safe, stared at her in shock. "You saved me," he said softly. "I will always protect you," Lila replied, her voice firm. "Like you protected me." Vorak struggled to rise, realizing he was outmatched. He knew he could not win, not against a fully awakened Deathworlder. His retreating glare promised vengeance, but for now, he was defeated. The crew exhaled collectively. The human vessel was safe, but the galaxy was not. Lila had fully awakened, and her power was no longer hidden. The Khalor Empire would return. They would send more hunters, more warships, but Lila no longer feared them. She was awake. She was powerful. She was a survivor of a species the galaxy had tried to erase. Evan stepped beside her, his hand on her shoulder. "We'll face them, together." Lila looked out the viewport, stars reflected in her glowing eyes. "I am ready. Whatever comes. I fight. I survive. I protect." Outside, the dark void of space seemed to shift, as if aware. The Khalor Empire had learned too late. The last Deathworlder was awake. And she would not be contained. The real war for Lila's freedom and for the survival of her species was only beginning. The void of space stretched endlessly outside the ship, dark and cold. But inside, the crew felt a warmth, a quiet hope that had not existed before. Lila sat at the observation deck, her eyes glowing faintly, reflecting the stars. She had awakened fully now. Her strength, speed, and instincts were unparalleled. She was a Deathworlder, the last of her kind, and no one could deny it. Evan approached her quietly. "The Khalor Empire will not stop. They'll come back, stronger this time." Lila turned to him, her voice steady and calm. "Let them come. I am ready." The crew had gathered, watching her closely. Dr. Rel spoke softly. "I never thought I would see this. The legends. The Tara 13 Deathworlders. You are truly the last, Lila, and you are more than anyone ever imagined." Lila clenched her fists. "I am not just surviving anymore. I will protect this galaxy. And I will protect those who gave me a name, a life, and love." Evan smiled. "And we'll fight with you, together." Far away, hidden in the blackness of space, the Khalor fleet watched. Their leader's voice crackled over the comms, icy and sharp. "She has survived. The last of her kind. She cannot live. Prepare the full strike. Destroy everything in her path." Lila stood, her body radiating power. Her glowing eyes scanned the stars, feeling every ship, every movement, every danger before it happened. She remembered her parents' final words, the lessons of her people, and the pain of being hunted her entire life. But now she had allies. She had humans who cared for her. And she had her own strength, fully awakened. The first wave of attack came suddenly. Black warships emerged from warp, weapons aimed. Lila moved faster than anyone could see, intercepting blasts, dodging strikes and protecting the crew. Every movement was perfect, instinctive, unstoppable. Vorak appeared again, wounded but alive. "This is not over, girl. You will die." Lila's lips curled into a faint smile. "You tried to erase my people. You failed. I am alive, and I am more than you imagined." She struck him with precise power, sending him tumbling into the void. The remaining Khalor ships paused, witnessing the strength of a fully awakened Deathworlder. The humans watched in awe. One crew member whispered, She's like a legend come alive." Evan stood beside Lila. "You saved all of us. You are incredible." Lila's gaze softened for a moment. "I was given a name. And love. That made me more than a survivor. That made me someone worth fighting for." She turned back to the viewport, looking at the distant stars. The galaxy was vast, dangerous, and cruel. But now she understood something essential. She was no longer alone. The humans, Evan, and her awakened power meant she could protect what was left of her people. A come alert sounded. Another fleet was approaching, faster than the first. The Khalor Empire had not given up. They would return. Evan placed a hand on her shoulder. "Whatever comes, we face it together, always." Lila nodded. "I will not run. I will not hide. They will learn fear. Fear of a Deathworlder who fights for justice, not vengeance." Her words echoed in the ship. The crew felt it, the promise of hope, the courage of a survivor, the power of someone who refused to be controlled. And far outside, hidden in the dark expanse of space, the galaxy waited. The Khalor Empire would strike again. Other hunters would come. Other challenges would arise, but the last Deathworlder was awake, and she would not be broken. Lila whispered softly, almost to herself, "They tried to erase us. They failed. I am here, and I will protect this galaxy. Not alone. Never alone." Evan squeezed her hand. "And we'll be with you, always." The stars shimmered beyond the viewport, silent witnesses to the rise of a legend. The galaxy had a new protector, now a small girl with the heart and power of an entire species. And though the war was far from over, one thing was certain: Lila Carter, the last Deathworlder, had returned. The galaxy would never forget her.